All right. I want to move to water usage. How many of you in here own a laptop? What happens when you set your laptop on your lap and you're working on it? It gets hot. Well, that's exactly the way the equipment is for Google. They've got to cool all this equipment. Now, so they've got to have a lot of water to do it. Each data center may require up to 8 million gallons a day. They say that they will require 3.5 million gallons a day. Now, why do I say 8 million gallons a day?
Because they're liars. They know better.
Okay. Well, I say it because a new 16-inch diameter pipe has been installed from Carvins Cove, and it's on the way to Greenfield. They've already finished it. I think it's all finished all the way from Carvins Cove to the Botetourt County line. And they finished the section on the road between Lee Highway and maybe up to around exit 150. I don't know how far they went. The capacity, I can calculate the capacity of a 16-inch water line. It's 6,000 gallons a minute, or 8.64 million gallons per day. And that's what they've got to have on day one, okay? With one data center, that's what they say. What do they really have to have? I don't know, but I know what they've planned for, and I know they're not telling me the same thing that they're planning for. I will tell you, I stopped while they were working on that pipe, and I took my pull tape out there, and I measured the ID of the pipe. That's how I found this out. And I had driven it by it time and time and time again, and I didn't notice, what's that water for? And then I said, so then I requested a Freedom of Information request from the Western Virginia Regional Water Authority, and they sent me the whole project. I wish I had looked at it again to know what the date was, but I will guarantee you it was more than 3 years ago. Okay? Yeah, that's right. So now let's talk about something else here. We are giving Google drinking water to cool their equipment. How many of you have driven by a power plant? How many of you have driven by a chemical plant? How many a paper plant? What do you notice about every one of them?
Stink to high heaven.
Well, they may stink. Yep, that's right. What else? A lot of vapor coming up, but what else? They're all beside a river. Why? Because they use very, very much water. And so what power plants do is they bring the water in, and they use it one time through to cool their equipment, and they put it right back out into the river. So they heat it up a little bit, but not enough to heat the river up. So what does that mean? It means that they don't consume that water. They just use it one time through, it goes right back out, and everything's okay. They don't have to treat it, they don't have to do anything. They don't have to treat this water. But what's going to happen with our drinking water from Carvins Cove? It's going to come into Google, and they're going to use an evaporative process. They're going to use cooling towers. And so that water is, a portion of it is going into the atmosphere and being, rain on somebody else, okay?
That water's going to be treated in them cooling towers.
Yes, it is going to be, absolutely. They'll add chlorine, bromine, and other things to kill the living organisms in the water. That's right. So now they tell us that Carvins Cove tells us that they have a capacity of 24 million gallons per day. That's what they say. But I looked at their audit, And they said in their audit, year after year after year, it says 14 to 18 million gallons a day, year after year after year. And so what have they factored in there? They factored in drought. They factored in other problems that could deplete our water supply. We are not factoring that in with Google. We're taking the water. And they plan to pull it out at 24 million gallons a day because that's their filtering capacity. And what else is going to happen? At 24 million gallons a day, they're not going to be able to maintain their equipment because they won't be able to take anything offline to maintain it. All right, let's go on to the next one, please. Another thing about our water supply and haven't heard anyone say anything about. Blacksburg, somewhere on the street. It says this is a dividing point of the Eastern Continental Divide.
It's on Route 42.
Yeah.
On Route 42. Yes, it is. It's probably along the Christiansburg, Floyd County line or Montgomery County, Floyd County line. What does that mean? Well, it's only about 40 miles or so to Blacksburg, maybe less than that, the way the crow flies. That means that there's only 30 miles of water behind us. We don't have 200 miles of water behind us. We don't have 100 miles of water behind us. We've got 30 miles of water behind us. That's it. That's not much water. I don't care how you cut it. Now, I'm not from the Northeast, but I know one thing I was impressed by from the Northeast. You get up there and those people got water. We don't have water here, not like they do there. And there's a lot of other places that don't have near as much as we do. All right, let's go on.